Amber Island Wave 11 is arriving tomorrow, but just in the midst of it all, we've got a reveal here that Drummidary might not be the one coming tomorrow. In the teaser that we've received for Wave 11, we see Kana, and then all of a sudden, Kana uses the fire site powers and gets a glimpse at this new fire elemental arising from the ocean. And if you guys are wondering what's going on inside of this, we can take a look in-game, as it says right there what's going on. It says in the news notification, it's been years since Kana has been granted a vision using the power of Firesight, whose arrival has the fire elemental foreseen. For those of you who don't know, Firesight is a power that Kana has that allows them to communicate with the other fire elementals, and it was first seen when Tribal Island Kana made contact with the fire elementals inside of the living core, and the fire elementals were discovered in the first place in present-day My Singing Monsters, so therefore Kana is making a connection here to a new fire elemental. But who is this new fire elemental? We know we're getting rare Flamox thanks to his theories. Go and watch those after this video if you've not already. But this silhouette does not match Flamox at all, and therefore it's likely that this is one of the other remaining monsters that we have left. Out of the other monsters that we have left, if we have the 4 individual Quints left, including Drummidary. It was highly expected that Drummidary would be next, seeing as though Drummidary is one that we already know about, and Drummidary would complete the saga of all of the monsters returning inside of the game. But no, we're actually going to be going back to one of the other Quints, and each Quint is based off an element, as we know, with Candelabra and Drummidary being based on the Fire and Earth one. So therefore, this monster, with it being in the living ocean, is actually going to be the Water Quint. And Firesight, obviously, too, I only think they're going to really bring that out if this is a big discovery. So that pretty much consolidates on the fact that this is teasing a brand new fire elemental. And if we head on over back to this teaser too, we've got some nice appearance details that we can make out here from this silhouette. We've got this huge unicorn-like horn that everyone is commenting is like a narwhal. I see what you're getting onto here. It does look quite resemblant of a narwhal. However, if we look at the silhouette, we might be able to work out a little bit more about what's going on. So we've got some hair at the back, or rather some fur. That's more than likely its hair, seen as though it's placed on the back of this monster, and I would expect that this is around the face area of this. And if we take a look at the very front of it, it appears to have a large nostril coming off of its face. I've been thinking about what this huge block could be, and I feel like it being a nostril is really the only thing it could be. However, if we look further down from the nostril, you can see a rectangular shape arising off it, and I expect these to be legs. However, I'm picturing all of these features together, and I just don't see it. So I don't know how all of these features intermingle against one another, but this is what it appears to be. So if you've seen anything else, definitely leave a comment down below. It's shaped like Catalyst, I would assume, therefore, seeing as though it's got a very blocky-like shape to it. I'd expect, though, seeing as though there's a huge block coming off of the facial part of it, those are going to be nostrils, rather than Catalyst. If we put them up, it's going to be a bit more bulky, especially seeing as though this is supposed to be a Quint. I expect it's going to be way bigger, too. So we've got hair, large nostrils, and feet. What on earth could this be resemblant of? Well, seeing as though we've got some huge nostrils here coming off of the face of it, I would expect for this to potentially be a hippo. Now, going back to as mythical predictions, I was actually totally all over the Firehaven mythical being a hippo, but no, apparently we're getting a hippo Quint, potentially. Maybe it's a normal, though, honestly, who knows? But either way, I expect it to be very cutesy, reminiscent of the cute kind of style that you see with monsters like Shrubble. They're definitely going to be going down that route with that unicorn horn. For its sound, seems as though we got a large pair of nostrils. I expect that could produce its sound. However, twisting that up a little bit, I think, seeing as though we've got a large rectangle coming off of the nostrils itself, we don't really know what that is, and that's the most unsure part, which I'm not too sure about. I expect that that could actually be a mouth. If we're having a mouth there, then this could be a vocalist. But overall, I think this is most likely to be an instrumentalist, seeing as though that's what the Amber Island song needs. If you go and look at the song right now, there's so many bare bits, like that bit where we went over it last time in his Fury video, where it just pauses in the middle of the song. They've got to fix that somehow, and I think that adding an instrumentalist into the Amber Island song is the way to go, so I would expect that to arise out of it. And even though I feel like it's so hard to predict where this monster could go, as honestly, Amber Island needs monsters in every single verse right now, but if I did have to choose anywhere for this monster to go, it would be where Z-Grab stops playing. That bit where we've just played, where there's nothingness inside of that, we need something there, and seeing as though I do think that this is going to be an instrumentalist, seeing as though this this is what the song needs right now. We do need something there. So if I did have a choice in where this monster was going to go, I'd point it out to being going inside of where Growl and Kane and Z-Grab is. Just that bit where there's nothing playing. We need something there. So if this monster goes there, we've got a whopper here. I also think that the nostrils itself would also be very similar to what Snizer's sound. That's what really gets me thinking that he's going to play somewhere else. And I'm unsure about the mouth idea, but that's the closest idea that I can get towards it making it sound. Unless it's going to make a really unusual one. And I don't know why, but its design reminds me of Prismatic Tiara. I'm going to put it on screen now because it just reminds me so much of it. You've got the unicorn horn on it, and then you've got the nostrils coming off it. It literally has all of the features, and that is the most ugliest thing of 2022. I don't really know how to feel about that, but this is literally the thing that I think of besides Catalyst immediately that comes to mind is Prismatic Tiaras. I hope that it's going to be a lot more cuter than that, because Prismatic Tiara is literally my least favorite Prismatic. But if we head on over to his release schedule now, things have shifted once more. Now, we went over how Drummidary would actually be coming, but no, we've got his Water Quint now arriving tomorrow, and seen as though the Crescendo Moon hasn't yet been teased and hasn't been mentioned anywhere, I don't think we're going to be getting it tomorrow. There's too much to be coming all in one day, and I think for the first time ever, they might have realized this, and they might actually be releasing it potentially the week after, or maybe another week after that. So that's great. We've got so much content on the way. We've got the Colossals on this Saturday, guys, on the 14th of January. How crazy. We've got all of this coming this week, so you know what? Crescendo Moon can wait a little bit longer because we have too much to digest here. I think Crescendo Moon will be happening sooner rather than later, so I'm going to place it as being on the 18th of January for now, but it could also be the 25th. So just stay tuned for that, honestly, because we don't really know at the moment. But, guys, we have a lot arriving tomorrow. We got Rare Flamox and this new Water Quint. Going off of one thing, I think we're going to have a good one this time. Especially seeing as though the Quints are always monsters that deliver inside of the song. So we've got a lot to look forward towards. Make sure to let me know what you think down below about this Water Quint and what on earth you think it's going to be. Am I right with my theories here? Because I don't know, if I had to be honest today. I've had a good go though, so I'm excited to hear what you guys think down below. But now, make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed and to subscribe too, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow and we'll be checking out a new fire monster, baby. Oh yes, I'm in the mood for a new fire elemental always.